Hi, Bill Pfeiffer speaking again. So very, very good to be with you. I just love doing this, and I hope that it's really being able to touch your hearts. We really want to do things that transform the way that you're thinking, maybe putting on the mind of Jesus, if you will, and putting on the heart, that meekness and that understanding, that gentleness. Today, it's a love of others unconditionally. We've been talking the last couple days about things that good people do, and we want to add this as one of the essential things that you just have to do that if you're going to end up trying to be a person that touches other people's lives. First, a true story. True story. There's a young teacher, probably in her late 20s or 30s, who suddenly dies, and true story, goes to heaven, has one of those life after death or life after life experiences. God comes to her and says, Jane, do you remember the day that you helped little Louise out, the girl that was sitting in the desk right in front of you? And Jane, the teacher, says, yeah, I remember that day. And he said, the little girl was crying, and she was so upset. And you said, Louise, what's the problem? And you said, come up here. And so she came up to your desk, this little second grader, and her paper had some mistakes on it. And she said, I forgot my eraser at home. And so you said, here, you can have my eraser, and let's start to fix things up. And you started erasing the things that were incorrect. And then Louise went back to her desk, not crying anymore, but taking the eraser and fixing up the rest of her mistakes, and then giving you one of those coy little smiles that said, thank you, you really have made my day. And Jesus said to Jane, you know that was one of the most important things you've ever done in your life. And Jane said, my goodness, all I did was give the little girl an eraser and help her out and stop her. That was the most important thing, one of the most important that you've ever done in your life. And so she came back saying, wow, what a difference. What a difference. I have to think of things in a different way now in my relationship with other people. We've been talking about things that need to be done on a regular basis. I give up my desire for pride, for control, for judging other people. I give up my fears. I give up my need for praise and glory. The second thing we talked about yesterday was if things accidentally get out of control in your life, that they don't put you out of control for the rest of the day. A third and simple thing that holy people say that we really have to do in our lives to be able to acquire the peace and the generosity to be able to say, I'm really working at my spiritual life, is to accept other people unconditionally. The practice of unconditional acceptance of others. This practice says, again, Thomas Keating in his marvelous book, The Open Mind, Open Heart, the practice is especially powerful in quieting the emotions and the appetites of fear, anger, courage, hope, and despair. By accepting other people unconditionally, you discipline the emotions that want to get even with others or to get away from them. We do that all the time. I want to get even with you. I want to get away from you. Leave me alone. You allow people to be who they are with all of their idiosyncrasies, all of their weaknesses, all of those self-centered things, and with the particular behavior that's disturbing you. I'm going to give you, for these few minutes, permission to be yourself, just like you like to have permission to be yourself. That's a very important part of the spiritual life, to be able to relax with other people and allow them to be who they are. There was a man, kind of a grouchy fellow, who was going to go on a journey. And on his journey, he had to go through 3 cities all along this usually traveled road. He went to the first city, spent a couple of hours there, and left and thought, boy, they were really grouchy. They were really unhappy people, not very kind and whatever. He found himself in the second city, spent about 6 or 8 hours there, and left and again said, boy, not too happy, not very grouchy, and not very pleasant people at all. Before he got to the third city, he saw a lady on the side of the road, and he said, "You're familiar with the city ahead?" And she said, "Yeah, I am." And he said to her, "Well, what kind of people are in that third city? I've just come to a couple, and boy, they're grouchy, they're really unkind and whatever." And she said, "Well, you will find the people in the city ahead just as you found the ones in the last two cities." The problem wasn't in the cities. The problem was in his heart. You know, if you spend your life judging other people, you won't have any time to love them. Mother Teresa. And that's the story for today. So the more time we spend judging others, the less time we end up being able to love them. Thank you for being with us again. Love you. Happiness tomorrow truly, truly does depend on doing the truth today in your relationship with other people. Thank you. God bless. You have my prayers.